It has been a whirlwind of a season for us Sooner fans so far, but Sooner Nation, I want to talk to you about our quarterback. We have been spoiled for the last few years of having great ones come through here, multiple Heisman Trophy winners, even Heisman Trophy finalists. And so far this season, the numbers actually look a lot better than you think when you think statistically. We talked about it earlier in the week in a video and how, in comparison to the years over time, this team passing-wise is up there. Now the question is going to be, will Oklahoma, will the Sooners, will this staff, will Jeff Lebby, will they allow Dillon Gabriel to come out of his shell and become the superstar quarterback that we need in order to keep moving forward? Well, we're going to talk about that. Let's dissect it in Theory Craft. I want to talk through what Dillon Gabriel has done this year and what it could be for the rest of the season. But before we do that, welcome to Unfair Sports. I'm your host, Jay. Thank you all for pulling up to the channel. I appreciate all the love and support. We've seen some growth in this channel, and so I want to say thank you at this moment as we dive into this subject. So if you like the content, hit the like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. We would love to have you join this family of college football fans, talking a lot of OU football and college football in general, and we're going to keep growing all because of you, the people. And so let's dive into Dillon Gabriel, what he's done this season, where he ranks nationwide, and why I'm going to go ahead and try to convince you that he's the guy. He's the guy this year, and he's someone we should really appreciate. So let's look at the numbers and talk about it, right? Statistically this season, Dillon Gabriel's actually putting together a really good year. And if Oklahoma can continue to drive forward, take that loss from Kansas as a reminder that you can't sleepwalk your way through to a championship. You can't sleepwalk your way into the playoffs. You've got to show up in the big games. I think this team can continue to build upon each week and go towards the playoffs and be something special. That's what we're hoping for. We're hoping for a Big 12 championship to leave the conference and move forward. And so for Oklahoma, it's going to be all about not sleepwalking moving forward. But I think the biggest thing is we need to let Dillon Gabriel cook. Now, looking at the numbers here, Dillon Gabriel right now in yards per game, he's ranked 13th in the country at 287 yards per game. So that's 13th in the country. That's number one in the Big 12. And then you go down the line of statistics. His quarterback rating puts him at 9th in the country. He's sitting at number 10, tied for number 10 for touchdowns at 19. Only has 4 interceptions, which is pretty low. Now, Bo Nix has only one, and Bo Nix has a history, but at the same time, Bo is having a great season. Penix has 6. Caleb Williams has 4. And then on top of these touchdowns, 19 touchdowns on the passing side, Dillon Gabriel also has 8 rushing touchdowns. It's a pretty big number for a quarterback in the way that he's playing this season. Yards per attempt at 9.1. He's sitting at about 14th tied. And yards total, he's at 13. So he's up there in the top 15 of all quarterbacks in college football statistically. He's even up there hardcore when it comes to his yards, his percentage, which is at 71%. Something that you have to be excited about is the way that Dillon Gabriel comes and prepares. He's shown his leadership ability. He went against his Kansas game and tried to put the team on his back, tried to carry us to that victory. He ran in there, got those 3 touchdowns, knowing that our running game was struggling, and he started to leverage the RPO a little bit more to try to get additional yards and get things rolling. Now, when Tyree Walker got in there and started to run the ball, you saw him hand that bad boy off instead of trying to do it himself. That's something we've got to get more out of and more that we expect out of Dillon Gabriel going forward. But the question is, will the offense, will the play caller, Lebby, trust the quarterback that he's coached for 4 years to go ahead and let him just slang that thing around the field? Because we've seen what he's done when he's throwing the ball to Nick Anderson, when he's throwing the ball to Andrell Anthony, who's unfortunately gone. We've seen what he's done with Jalil Farouk. We've seen what he's done when he's thrown the ball to Drake Stoops. We've seen Dillon Gabriel put together some amazing games. Look, the fact that he carried us to the W against Texas in that 1-minute drill told me everything I needed to know about what his potential is. The question is will leadership let him do it? Will we stop trying to pull the reins back on this quarterback because of fear? So when I looked at those numbers for the country, I'm like, okay, that's not bad. So I went and pulled up the Big 12 numbers. Big 12 numbers. He leads in yards per game. He leads in quarterback rating. He's number 1 in touchdowns. He's number 1 in yards per attempt. And he's number 1 in yards. He leads every statistical category in the Big 12 right now. He's the top quarterback there. And it's funny because I made a video at the beginning of the season. Phil Steele, who makes the College Football Bible, want to pull it up for you. In this book, guess who he had as the top quarterback in the Big 12? Dillon Gabriel. And I talked about that, and I got attacked here on the YouTubes. Y'all told me that was ridiculous. Y'all told me that he is no way the best quarterback in the Big 12. And I told you, guess what? You are 100% wrong. That man is the top quarterback in this conference. I hear about Quinn Ewers all the time. Dillon Gabriel's the best quarterback in this conference. And he's showing it. He's the real deal. He's getting praise from national people. Even the week before, I had this video I was going to make, but I didn't make it until after this game. And unfortunately, with the loss, it may look skewed, but at the same time, Matt Leinart, he's been trolling Oklahoma fans for the last few weeks because of our troll to him and USC. But guess what? He even said he's loving what Dillon Gabriel does. He loves how the player that he is. All we need to do is let this man continue to do his thing. He's going to make mistakes. No quarterback's perfect. As you can see, not a single quarterback has 0 interceptions. Not a single quarterback on here doesn't have a bad pass. All of them do. But he has a low percentage of them. And that's what you got to be appreciated. His entire body of work is what you should look at when you're looking at a quarterback like Dillon Gabriel as we're seeing the season progress. So now, as we're preparing for the last few games this season, looking at his numbers, like I said, he has 8 rushing touchdowns, 19 passing touchdowns with 8 rushing. My apologies, this season. The rest of our games now got Oklahoma State, in which last year, you saw what Dillon did to them. Start the game off with 21 straight points. He's launching that thing. And he's got the wide receivers to do it again, too, against that Oklahoma State secondary, which is questionable. We've got West Virginia coming in, who's playing really good. So defense is more important. But Dillon Gabriel's got to slang that thing and really beat them. He can do that. Traveling to BYU in the altitude and cold weather. He can do that. TCU at home. He can do that. So the question's going to be, will the offense run through Dillon Gabriel like it's supposed to? That way we can see this man's full potential. That's all I ask you. So let me get your opinion. Hop in the comments. Let your boy know. What's your thoughts? Are you now sold a little bit more on Dillon Gabriel? Do you believe that he has the potential to still continue to lead us? Because after what he did for us against Texas, I don't see how you could see that he's not that guy. He's not going to have perfect games every week, but how is he not that guy? Love to hear from you all. If you've made it this far, you like the content, hit the like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. Love to have you join this college football family. And I know a lot of my viewers aren't subscribers, and that's fine. Just keep watching the videos and tell me that you like it. One of these days, you're going to subscribe just to show me some love and help me out with the YouTube algorithm. So YouTube says to check out one of these videos. I highly recommend it. The video I talked about earlier this week, as well as some more content coming down the line. Check it out. Let us know what you think. And we'll talk soon. Peace.